Are you an artist looking to grow your Instagram account? Maybe you want to create a portfolio showcasing your work, or maybe you're hoping to turn your passion into a career one day. Growing an art account can be really difficult because as artists, we already spend our time making art, but growing a following on social media opens up a lot of opportunities, like turning your art into your full-time job, which is exactly what I did. In just 1 year, I was able to grow my art account from 150 followers to over 40,000 followers. Now I get to do what I love every day, which is making art, and bonus, it pays my bills, but I couldn't have done it without Instagram. So today, I'm going to break down for you everything that I learned over the last year about how I grew a genuine following on Instagram of people who love my content and support my art.
Let me start with a little bit of background. So for those of you who don't know me, hi, my name is Sarah. I am the owner of Colorfully Sarah Shop. Like I said, I am a cross-stitcher, pixel artist, and also a small business owner. The name of my business is called Colorfully Sarah Shop, where I sell digital cross-stitch patterns that I've designed myself, as well as cross-stitch accessories. I originally started this business back at the very end of 2023, and I had gotten the call that I was getting laid off. I had a job at an animation company working as a digital lighting artist on a show for Disney Junior. I was living in Vancouver, but I had moved back to Chicago because my company told me that it was okay, and then about a year after I moved, they told me it was not okay that I moved back to Chicago, and that's why they ended up laying me off. And it was such a punch in the gut to lose my job, and I really felt that feeling of instability. And the worst part of it all was I had just bought a house with my husband, and 3 months later I found out I was losing my job. So in my state of panic, I decided to start kind of like a side hustle. I had always loved cross stitch, and I've been a cross stitcher for years. And I had a passion for designing cross stitch patterns. I had a very specific style that I liked to cross stitch, and it was really hard for me to find patterns that were the specific style that I wanted, so I ended up making a lot of my own designs. But in an attempt to make any income at all, I started an Etsy shop where I uploaded my first digital cross stitch pattern. And within a day or two of posting my pattern to Etsy, I had gotten my first sale. I think the very first sale might have been my mom, but I did get a legitimate sale within a day or two. And from then, a couple of sales would trickle in every single day. I had also started an Instagram in order to promote my art and drive people to my Etsy store, but I was only posting still photos. I didn't make any reels, I did absolutely nothing. I was doing the bare minimum on Instagram, just trying to post stuff, create a portfolio almost. It wasn't until about March of 2024 when I actually started taking posting on Instagram seriously, and within a month or two of posting consistently on Instagram, my account blew up. The reels I were posting were related to cross stitch, and I would cross stitch my patterns that I was designing. Some of the very first reels that I posted gained like over 400,000 views, which is literally just crazy. But ever since those videos, I've been able to slowly, consistently, over the past year, continue growing my following up to 40,000 followers. And within that year, I've learned a lot of what works, what doesn't work. Even to this day, like a year later, I'm still gaining almost 100 followers on Instagram every single day. Sometimes it does dip a little bit below 100 because I get lazy and I get busy, and as a small business owner, you know you're trying to do everything, but for the most part, I've been really consistently gaining followers every single day. I think part of the reason that I was so successful right off the bat in the beginning is because I didn't have a job and I didn't view failing as an option. I feel like a lot of people in the back of their mind are like, oh, there's always the possibility that it won't work out, or oh, what if people don't like my art? And I feel like that kind of kills our motivation to post. I really looked at it from the perspective of, I don't have a job right now, I need to make this Instagram thing work. I knew I needed a second stream of income. I knew that we wouldn't be able to afford this house unless I could find a job. And in December, once I lost my job, I was kicking my butt into gear. Every single day I was working on designing new patterns, posting on Instagram, creating new things, pouring my heart into my social media. I think something that really helped my Instagram account stand out was the fact that there wasn't really a lot of other people creating the type of content that I was creating. Cross stitch is a very traditional type of craft where I feel like the average audience is on the older side. There are also a lot of younger people who do cross stitch, but in general, I feel like when people think of cross stitch, they think of like an old lady with a cross stitch hoop sitting in her rocking chair. But I feel like a lot of the cross stitch content on Instagram was posted by older women, and there wasn't really a lot of young people doing cross stitch. And of the young people doing cross stitch, I found a lot of darker colors, a lot of nature themes, potions, astrology, insects, that type of vibe. I couldn't really find any cutesy pastel video game themed beginner friendly cross stitch patterns. So I think the fact that I really made stuff from my heart really helped because it was one of a kind. I wasn't out there copying other artists or trying to replicate their success. I was making stuff that I wanted to make, and it was very true and genuine to me. So if you are an artist and you make stuff that is unique and stands out, I think that will really help you a lot. That's not to say that if there's a style that a lot of people have, you won't be successful. I just think it really helps to have something about your art account or your business page that is unique. These days, a lot of people want to start their own small business, which is great, and I always think the world needs more small businesses, but that means that there's a lot of competition. And you have to think, why would people follow your account instead of this other account? What about your account is special? Another thing that I had that I think helps a lot, I truly think having an aesthetic really helps your page. Now, a lot of artists do see success without having a cohesive aesthetic. This is not something that you have to do. I just personally have seen a lot of success with it. When you look at my Instagram page, it doesn't matter if you look at the posts from the beginning, it doesn't matter if you look at the posts from today, you will see a general purple theme on my Instagram. I've tried to make my primary brand color purple because it helps people recognize me. Now, that doesn't mean that you need to go out and buy a bunch of stuff and get the most aesthetic setup and do all these things. It just helps a lot if you have a specific brand identity, color scheme, vibe. It really helps other people see that and connect with you. Like, there are a lot of people who like darker colors. There are a lot of people who like more natural colors. And then there are people like me who love rainbow pastel everything. But without even clicking on any of my videos, as soon as people land on my page, they see, oh, I kind of see the vibe that this girl is about. And I think that helps a lot. Your profile is basically your business card. When people come to your profile and read your bio and look at your posts and all of that, that's their first impression of you. And that matters a lot. A lot of people aren't going to take the time to click on every single video and see what type of content you post. A lot of people are just going to look at your page and say, oh, this looks like something fun. Follow, or I don't really know if this inspires me, or I don't know if this is something that I really relate to. People are selfish, including me. I'm selfish too. We all are, and it's okay. We follow people for a specific reason because we get something out of it. You could be funny, you could be educational, relatable, inspirational, anything. Figure out what you can offer to your audience in addition to just the artwork that you post. Even if you're an artist and you're posting on Instagram to create more of a portfolio for your stuff, even by adding a fun caption or words or doing something to make your post really resonate with other people or have something that they can get value out of, the one thing that you do need to have, and I'm not just saying this because I'm a lighting artist, I don't care what anybody says, you need a decent camera quality and good lighting. Now, that doesn't mean you have to go out and buy a camera. You can use your iPhone. Just make sure that there's no smudge on the camera. Make sure it's not dark and you're filming like this shaky footage that's kind of... Don't do that. Just take a little bit of extra time to wipe off your camera lens, stand by the window, get a really nice light. Natural light is by far the best light that you can use. A little bit of good lighting goes such a long way. You want people to be able to see your art. It just makes it look fresh and clean and inviting, and lighting is really so important. And take it from me, because my job literally was a lighting artist. Lighting influences mood, lighting invokes emotion. It is so important and is often overlooked for a lot of new content creators. The main thing that I do on Instagram is I post reels. I post between 3 to 4 reels every single week, along with at least one carousel post. Now, there are different ratios. You don't have to do this every single day, but currently reels are the best way for people to discover your account on Instagram. So even if you're an artist and you're just making drawings, film a little bit of the process. Even if you just turn on your camera and show the sketching process, or show you starting to draw line art and then you turn off your camera and come back when it's done, any filming at all is really helpful. People love to see the process of you creating art and see how it all comes together. So something that I would do, because like I said, I do cross stitch, and it takes 50 hours to finish one cross stitch piece. So obviously I can't finish a cross stitch piece every single time I post. So what I would do is I would film multiple times during that process. I would film getting all my supplies ready. I would film the first couple stitches. I would film the middle of the project. I would get different angles of it. I would get wide shots. I would get close-ups. I would get a whole bunch of footage. I'd get some shots at the very end when I finish my piece, and then I would show a bunch of different angles of the finished product. So within one cross stitch piece, I was able to make at least 4 or 5 reels out of that. So it's really really helpful if you can be smart about how to get the most amount of content out of the least amount of footage. You'll hear a lot of content creators talk about B-roll. B-roll is basically footage where you're not talking or it's not a main shot, but it's usually you doing some activity and you can lay text over this. And by compiling a bunch of B-roll shots into different reels and adding different text, you can really make a lot of content out of the same footage. So don't stress yourself out trying to make a new drawing every week or trying to make a new product every week. And the longer that you create content, the more footage and the more B-roll that you're going to have over time. It really just takes a while. And then eventually it'll be a lot easier for you to just pull from a whole library of clips that you have, and you can just splice different things together and make new reels. You can also talk about the materials that you use, the supplies you use. You can do voiceovers, you can give tutorials. There's a lot of different ways to make content, and it's kind of just about figuring out which ways work best for you and can fit in with your workflow. Another thing that I see a lot of is artists who don't engage with their audience. The whole point of Instagram is to grow a community, have an audience, and if you have people there who are commenting on your stuff, who like your art, who like your business, and they want to support you, you have to respond to them. Like, these people took time out of their day to either write you a compliment or leave a nice message on your post. Unless you have like hundreds of comments and you don't have the time to answer all of them, at least try to get through 5 to 10. A lot of my Instagram posts have between 10 and 20 comments, and I always make sure to answer all of them. But in general, on every reel that I post, I respond to everybody in the comments. By engaging with people on Instagram, you do a few things for yourself. When people engage on your post on Instagram, Instagram realizes that as a good thing, and it helps boost your post in the algorithm. There are so many things about the algorithm that we cannot control, so anything that we can control, it's really important to utilize. The second reason this is so important is because you're probably on Instagram to grow an audience. And in order to grow an audience, you need to have a relationship with them. It's like having a friend where you're the one who's always making plans, always texting to hang out first, and they never do the same for you. And then eventually you get tired of that friend and you stop reaching out to them, and then they don't respond back. You start to worry if that person's actually your friend and if they actually want to spend time with you. Your audience will feel the same way if you don't respond to them in the comments. So make them feel loved, start conversation, at least say thank you, do something to talk with your audience. The biggest thing about running an Instagram account as an artist or small business owner is we are not content creators, so we really have to be smart about how we can do the least amount of work and get the most results. It's so important to plan a schedule that works well for you and your business. No two people are going to run their Instagram accounts the same way. I know a lot of people have had success making voiceover reels. I hate my voice, so I don't want to post any reels on Instagram with my voice. None of my Instagram videos have my voice. A few of them show my face, but for the most part, it's either the back of my head or the stuff that I'm working on. I will admit it does help if you can either share your voice or show your face on Instagram, because it helps people have a connection with you. People want to see the artist behind the artwork. People connect with other people, and that's part of the reason why everyone likes social media so much. People support small businesses and artists because they want to have a connection. They enjoy seeing how their purchase changes somebody's life or how it makes an impact. I personally find it really rewarding when I have an artist or a small business that I support and I see how much it helps the bigger picture, or watching an artist go through stages of their life or watching their business grow. I think it's so rewarding knowing that you were a part of that and you can physically see how you changed somebody's life. So if you're comfortable, I think it's really beneficial if you could show your face or voice. I've had a lot of success posting videos on Instagram that show my business blowing up, me getting a bunch of orders, my business becoming my full-time job. People love success stories, and it's really motivating and inspiring if you can share some of that. This is something that I don't think I've heard anybody talk about, but I think this is so important. I think it's so important to build off of your successes. Now, what I mean by that is, let's pretend that you got your first order. Instead of just being excited about your first order, make a post about it, make a video about it, pack the order on camera, show the person's name, say thank you blah 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 for your order. That will make the person feel so excited, and that will encourage other people to want to buy from you. That's something I personally do a lot in my YouTube videos, is I try to show the names of the orders that I'm packing, because I think it's really special when somebody sees their order being packed on social media. Whenever something good happens to you, try to build off of it. Even this order counter that I have right here, people get excited when they place an order and they see the number change. Try to find as many opportunities as you can to create excitement, create engagement, and just make your content fun. Whenever I had a collection sell out, I'd make a video on it. I would film all my packages. A few weeks ago, I was selling cross-stitch kits and the collection sold out within 24 hours. I filmed a thank you video and I posted it on my Instagram story, and I got so many positive comments because people were like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited about my kit. And I also posted a reel of saying, hey, this collection sold out, and that created a lot of comments from people being like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I missed this. Wow, it looks like this collection was really popular. I kind of wish that I had bought something. But next time when you restock, I'm going to make sure that I get it. When something good happens to to take advantage of it, celebrate it, make it a bigger deal. The last tip that I have for growing your Instagram audience might be the most important tip, and it's kind of contradictory, but don't let yourself get obsessed over the follower count. At the end of the day, the amount of followers that you have genuinely does not matter. And I mean that. Let me tell you, it does not matter. Even artists and small business owners who have hundreds of thousands of followers don't always get good engagement on their posts. Just because people say that they want to follow you doesn't mean that that's going to translate into a sale. It doesn't mean that they're going to engage with your art. It doesn't mean that they're going to like your posts or be excited to watch them. At the end of the day, you don't really know why people follow you, and it's not really something that you can control. When I first started selling stickers, I had almost 10,000 followers on Instagram, and when I had my sticker shop launch, I maybe sold 10 stickers. Of those 10,000 people, only about 10 of them bought stickers from me. And that's really common. A lot of artists talk about that. It's really easy to assume that because somebody has a lot of followers or views, their business is really successful, but that's not always the case. Think about it like this. The quality of your followers is so much more important than the quantity of them. It's so much better to have 100 diehard fans who would foam at the mouth every single time you post something, rather than 10,000 people who don't care when you post. It can be really easy, especially in the beginning as you're growing, to feel like nobody cares about your art or you're posting to the void. But think about it, even if you were in a room with 5 people who loved your art, that's amazing. That's really cool. I don't care how many followers I have. Anytime anybody's like, hey, I really like your art, I'm genuinely like, me? You like my art? It makes my day. It's so easy to have social media skew our perception of follower count, but 100 people. Imagine a room full of 100 people who like your art. That's crazy. That's so many people. In almost every single circumstance, it's better to have less followers who are genuine than more followers who don't care about you. At the end of the day, it's all about building a community so that you can continue to do what you love. If you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, please go give it a like. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. It's a free way to support my channel and helps me continue to make videos for you guys. But if you follow these tips, don't get discouraged, and keep posting consistently, you will eventually get there. This is not a guide on how to blow up your Instagram overnight, but instead how to gain a genuine audience who loves your art and supports you. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!